Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live Force Friday. Today, we're going to talk about angles in drawing and how to use them, why to use them, why are they so important, what do they accomplish or not accomplish. Yeah, we got a lot of great stuff to talk about today, I have to say, a lot of great info. So before we get started, of course, as usual, I want to introduce our other two Force instructors. So, hey, how's it going, Matunjay?
It's going good. Excited. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for asking. And Mr. Swenley?
Yeah, doing great. Ready to draw some angles.
Yeah. Angles are really important.
Yeah, I don't think
um,
it's emphasized enough.
no, I really don't think it is. On a personal note, there was a guy named Rob that I taught who now actually teaches at SVA. And this idea of angle sticks out in my head because Rob, I remember when I was teaching at SVA, happened to bring to my attention as the teacher. He brought to my attention, he's like, man, angles are really important. And I kind of like knew it, but I didn't pay that much attention to it. And it was the beginning of me making sure that I tried to make students more aware of it. So extremely powerful tool. Changing angles in the figure is what creates actually a lot of drama, right? And angles work in the physical world. There's a lot of physics attached to the concept of angles. So, what you want to do is build a hypersensitivity to angles. I find that our brains want to do their best at making things, perfectly vertical and perfectly horizontal, right? This is our curse right here, is to do this. And you want to be sensitive to this or this or this or this, right? Or this or this or this or this, right? And any kind of small adjustment, man, I'm grabbing that, right? The moment I see something go 5 degrees, I'm like, oh my God, it switched 5 degrees. I have to get that in my drawing. So angles, right? Super important. So I'm going to try to show you, influence you today, inspire you to see just how important they are, how they work in the real world, and then how that makes its way over to the figures. Swenley's then going to jump in. We're going to talk about some of the tools we use on drawingforce.com to help students there understand angles and their importance. And then last but not least, Murtunjay is going to hop in and show how force drawing then really gets affected by that and how the two worlds of angles and force line combine, right? So I think we've got a really exciting hour for you guys. So let's get to it, right? As always, if you're in the audience, please feel free to type into the chat if you have any questions. The three of us are always here taking a look at the chat. And one thing I haven't brought up in a long time, a while back, we broke our 150 mark for likes. We bumped it up to 200 because you guys just blew through the 150 number. If we break 200, we do have a prize for somebody in the audience. Okay. I feel like I'm on the Price is Right, but and maybe I'm aging myself with the Price is Right. But either way, we want one of you guys to have the chance to win something out there. Okay. All right. Oh, and remember, the Albert contest is still on. Nobody has emailed me yet with a time code that works. So go find Albert, the finger puppet. He's out there in my feed, I promise. All right. And like I said, that prize is Force Bundle, which is $450, right? So go find Albert. It's worth the time. And in the meantime, you know what? You'll get to learn more about Force. So he's in one of the live sessions. We're up to number 54. I can tell you he's not in the 50s. He's not in the last four, okay? He's somewhere prior to that. All right, so let's get started. Here we go. Angles and figure drawing. So this isn't the drawing, by the way. I kind of tweaked this out entirely to get to this thumbnail. This is the figure drawing. This is actually out of my character design book. A lot of what I'm talking about is in this. I know I can't see. Yeah, you can see it in the camera. A lot of what I'm talking about today is in this book. Okay, this book was me really starting to push abstraction in the body and exaggerating. So this is called Character Design from Life Drawing. I have to say I love this book because it's me going crazy. If you want to see what my crazy drawings look like, buy this book. All right. And I talk about angles quite a bit in this book. Okay. Put that aside. So this drawing is from that book. In fact, I sold this drawing. We had a gallery. I had an exhibit after me doing a lecture at a school in the Bay Area, and it was kind of cool actually, because I went from doing my class to a show, which was the first time I had done that, and ironically, this drawing sold, which is kind of sad because I actually like this drawing quite a bit, to tell you the truth. But in the book, it talks about angles. So let's look at this, right? Like, look at the drawing and recognize how important the angles are. The angle of the leg coming down to the rib cage, the angle of the rib cage sweeping up. Now, the angle of the rib cage, right? It's because it's on a tilt, it's not vertical, right? Let's think about this, right? Because it's on this tilt, weight is falling that way. Why do we know this, right? We all know this because we all deal with gravity. Gravity goes straight up and down. That's why you've got like a plumb line in construction, right? You got a weight on a string. It's going to make its way and settle into where it's perfectly straight up and down, right? So we all know as human beings, gravity pulls down, straight things are where they are stable. As soon as something angles a little bit, right? It's like, this thing has the potential to fall over, right? So I've got this model. He has the potential to fall over. The angle is pretty strong, actually, in the torso. Right? I don't want him to fall over. So what does he do, right? His anatomy, he goes from all the energy that wants to fall over here, and he sets his arm up back here and then pushes here against the falling angle. So this part, especially right here, right? We got this angle against this angle, right? So if I pull that out, we have gravity, and then we have this angle which says I'm falling, and then we have this angle of the arm which says no, you're not, right? I'm going to shove a pole in there to help lock this in and try to hold the torso up. Very important, not only in what I just described in the function of it, right? What I basically just talked about was some simple physics, right? But also in the drama, right? The drama of this. I could have easily killed the drama of this pose by sitting the model up, right? The drama is the fact that there's tension of this model falling over, him, shoving his arm in there to support his upper body. That to me is exciting, right? That's what I try to bring to my drawings, my passion and excitement about how things work. It's dramatic. As you all know, I like thinking in scale. So I picture myself in this image about this big. So I'm this little guy with this giant mountain that's about to fall on me. And it's very important that that pole sit there to stop him from falling over, you see? So there's these angles, right? It's right in this figure drawing. Now, what I'm not going to be talking about today is where angles also are important is in perspective, right? Angles are very important in perspective. Angles are what create perspective. In fact, I always say perspective is a game of angles. It's knowing how angles work. This amazing illustration here is done by one of our students at drawingforce.com named Elise. One of the exercises that students get after they learn how to create 4-point perspective is they're supposed to create an image of their own out of their imagination. And Elise did this. It's probably one of the best I've gotten in the last few years. We're not going to be doing this. So I want you to see this is important. You have to know angles to create depth and perspective, but that's not the angles I'm going to be covering today. That's not the use of angles I will be covering today, okay? Although amazing, right? Amazing image by Elise. What we want to talk about today are right angles, acute angles, and obtuse. So I know when I even was writing this the other night, I thought, oh God, I'm going back to geometry class. And I hated geometry, I hated math. But this stuff's really important. Ironically, here we are now, here I am years after high school, of course, coming back to this. If you don't know what these mean, I'll share with you some really easy ways to remember, right? A right angle is basically an angle that has 90 degrees, right? So the vertical to the horizontal, 90 degrees. This is 180 degrees, which is half a circle. A full circle is 360, right? So you got 360, you got 180, and you got 90, right? So 90 degrees, right? It's called a right angle. An acute angle is very easy to remember because you can just remember it's cute, right? What it means is it's small. Small things are typically cute, right? So anything under 90, it could be 89, right? Or 80. Let's say it's 45, or maybe it's like 10 degrees. These are smaller angles than 90. The terms are relative to 90. It's acute angle, right? So smaller. Obtuse, right, is bigger, right? So instead of 90, if I put it over here and we're looking at an angle that looks like this, right? So I'm at about 120 degrees, let's say, that's obtuse. The O itself makes me think of like big or round, right? So therefore, you know, this is big and round, right? It's obtuse. So that's a wider angle. So you want to know what, for today, especially because I'm going to be using these terms, you want to be aware of what a right angle is, what an acute angle is, and what an obtuse angle is. Now, there's two sides to each coin. You could say, well, this is obtuse, right, for the letter O, and this is acute. It is. This is acute right now. But if the object in question that we are drawing is over here, then I don't care about that acute angle. I care about the obtuse angle. The obtuse or the acute angle is relative to the object, right? So in the figure, this is mostly how it's going to play out. We are going to talk about this too, all right? They both matter, but when we're drawing the figures, it's usually this that I'll be focusing on. We're going to be looking at some other things today, other metaphors to share with you. We will be looking at both. When it's the figure, it's usually it's the angle of the object, okay? Okay, like I said, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat. So talking about the book, this is from the book. In the book, this looks obviously super simple. It's like a bunch of black lines and orange arrows, right? But it's far deeper than that, right? It's like, I want you to start investigating what this means, right? What this means in your work relative to the concept of gravity, right? So here's gravity. Right? So gravity's pulling down. The black lines are just some surface. There's some object. And force is coming in at those orange angles, right? It's like, what is it like for something to hit a wall at a 45-degree angle, right? That's very different than hitting the wall at a 90-degree angle. Let's say this is a character, a hero, like punching a wall, right? You'll see this power is weaker than this power is, right? Because here they can do it directly, right? There's more power in that. This, of course, doesn't have any at all, right? It's not even touching it. If it goes down or even the angle goes up, it's not as 90 degrees. It's not as right of an angle, right? That power is not the same, okay? If we think about this being on the ground, right? What happens here? If something was coming in on a side, that means the power is not going to be as direct as the 90, right? In fact, usually when it's direct, it gets dispersed equally to the left and right, which are what these angles are here, versus me coming in at an angle like this. This is an acute, right? Here's acute, this is obtuse. So if I come in at an acute angle, what happens here? What does that feel like, right? One of the analogies I use for this on the site is, imagine you had, let's say you had a pole. When I was in school, especially in middle school, we had something called tetherball. I don't know if any of you have ever played that, but tetherball is where you have a rope and there's a ball attached to it, and you basically try to hit it and swing it around the pole, which I loved. I keep thinking of that pole, right? And that pole underneath the ground is in a hole with concrete, right? That's filled in there to lock the pole down. So the weight of this, anything on here is no problem because the pole is vertical with gravity, right? So there's not a lot of stress on the pole. But somebody came along on one of them. I don't know how they hit it. And I remember we had numerous poles, but somebody had bent one of the poles, right? So now the pole is like this. And that is a very different ball game, right? Now the full weight, right, of the pole from here to here is now being pulled down by gravity. So there's more stress here, right? Way more stress at the joint of where the pole was going into the ground with concrete underneath it, right? That same idea, we want to try to get into the figures. I want you to be aware of these stresses and angles and how they relate to one another. Billiards or pool, right, is important, right? You want to be aware of angles and how things push off of one another, right? It's acute, obtuse, and right angles. Same idea. You're playing this game of angles, except we want to think about force like pulling down, on the figure, right? So all these angles, I want you to just be aware of all of this, right? This page is to show you, hey, here's a diagonal in the body. Is a force coming in like this from somewhere else? Is it coming in like this? You know, I talk about rain on rooftops, right? Rain on a flat roof is going to primarily sit. Hopefully, if you live in a house with a flat roof, it's been pitched ever so slightly to drainage. Otherwise, it's all going to sit there, right? Rain on an angled roof is going to hit the roof, and then it's going to run down the roof. And the steeper the incline or decline, the faster the water is going to run down the roof, right? So I want to think of how those angles again relate to one another in the body. So here's some drawings of mine these are from the character design book, right? This is me exaggerating and showing in the book how important angles are. And sometimes I use those angles to actually push my idea, right? My concept of the pose. Last session we taught in Force Friday, we talked about, having those ideas, right? So here are my ideas, and angles are one tool of many tools for me to take my concepts and push them even further, right? I could easily have destroyed this pose, right? Here, let's destroy it, right? So I could take this and say right here, I'm going to take her and rotate her more straight, right? Like so, right? So look at that image and look at that, right? Very, very different. So much more drama in one angle to the other. When I straighten her out, right, the drama increases greatly. All of a sudden she's straight up and down. I've got the angles in the legs, but I lose how important this hip is, right? Because I've straightened out her upper body. I can't tell you how common this is with new students coming into learning how to draw. Again, like I said at the beginning of our talk today, for whatever reason, our brain wants to right things, right angle things, right? I don't know if it's because we live in a world of architecture with right angles or not. That's my guess. You know, we're used to that kind of thing. But you want to sensitize yourself to going, wow, look at the angle of her upper body. That angle helps push into this hip. I don't want to lose that. Almost the same exact angle is here in this model's rib cage. So I exaggerated it, right? I shoved this like massive rib cage out the screen left side of his body. I could easily water this down and redraw it. All right, let's do that. And that would take away from the drama of this pose, right? I can get rid of all of this in here and say, you know what? I'm just going to draw him straight. And look at what happened. What a massive difference, right? Massive. In fact, you see when I do this now, it's like, damn, that ribcage is sticking out quite a bit. It's like ripping out of his body. But that was my idea, right? I was like, wow, his ribcage is sticking out. I'm really going to push that angle and bring it back into his hips, right? And I dramatized that. And man, the angles help a lot, right? Okay. So let's look at other things in the world that do that, right? It's like, look at these two tables. I actually talk about table legs, believe it or not, quite a bit in on the website. And, because you have a weight, right? You've got a weight of a tabletop. You got things sitting on the table, right? The more weight, the more stress you're putting onto the legs of that table. The most stable table is going to be with 90-degree legs, right? So that is the strongest of tables. So if you're going out there and you're shopping for a table and you want a really strong one, you're going to find a table that looks like this, and you're even going to find it reinforced with triangles, right? Because think of the tension. If the leg did want to break, let's say you put a lot of weight on here, lots of boxes on this table, and you decided, I'm going to push on this table right here. I'm going to use my body and push on it. Well, this leg would want to go this way and collapse, but there's a triangle there. It's holding the right angle, right? This one wants to collapse as well, because both of these legs, if I push to the left, the legs don't want to go to the right. But you know what? Those triangles make it super solid. So if you're shopping for structure, solidity, stability, that's what you look for. But of course, that's not how it all looks, right? You could see there's style involved, combined with the utilitarianism of these legs and tables. This one, not so bad, right? So we've got an angle like this. The angle's not that strong, not so bad, right? If I added more and more weight, I put like, 2 tons on this table, it's going to crack first of all in here, but these legs would want to give out this way, right? They would give out that way. Why do we know that? Well, because of the angle, right? Because if weight is pushing down this way, this side is what's going to drop and fall in on itself. If the legs are the other way, right, it would fall the other way. The legs would come in on themselves the other direction. So imagine if this table had legs like this. Kind of weird, right? Even looking at that, we go, oh, I don't normally see tables like that, right? Because it doesn't feel that stable, right? If weight were pushed in on this, what would happen here? Well, this leg would break in like this, and this would break like this till it was laying flat on the ground, right? So there's physics, like I said, involved here, and we're trying to bring the physics over to the figure. Look at this table, right? That is not a sturdy table, right? I would not put a lot of weight on this, right? Tables like this, and look at the legs. It looks cool, right? They're at all different kinds of angles, right? Trying to create a base for the tabletop, right? There's this base. But you could put a lot of weight on this. This would finally give out at the joints over here, and this whole table would collapse, right? Because of these weaker angles. The strongest thing you can get is that 90 degrees for strength. In the figure, I don't want that unless it's there. You know, if it's there, you might have a model with a very strong, straight leg, then it's straight. I'm going to go for the fact that it's straight because it's stable and it's rock solid. It's like a table leg. But what adds drama is diagonals, 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 right? I want diagonals as much as I could find them all over the model, right? So last but not least, one of my favorite subjects besides figure drawing is architecture. As you may know by now, I think about the models as buildings many times as well. Why? Because buildings are huge and I'm small, and I'm thinking about how physics works within the architecture of the models, right? That's one of the places where this concept of angles is really important. Look at that building, right? Really cool architecture, right? It's like, look at the angle of this building, right? And you can see this is like a perfect example of me looking at the models. Look at the scale of the people. This would be a model to me, right? One of our models doing their force poses. And think about all the stress that's here. So there's obtuse going on over here and the acute over here. And the acute is having to actually sustain all the weight, but the obtuse is over here, right? Man, a lot of stress going on down here. If you think about the architectural marvel that this is, not only is the bottom building on an angle, right? But to add to the drama here, they took another box and extended the weight even further out, right? Jutting out of this building. And then on top of it, cleverly, they made the bottom white and the top a dark gray, which makes it even look heavier, right? So whoever did this was smart about that. If this had been inverted and the bottom was gray and the top was white, you would have lost some of the effect of just having this massive weight sitting on top of that white box, right? So cool architecture, like I said, but man, think about that. Think about that in the body. What does this stuff start feeling like? Here's another example of it, right? Like look at that angle, just really beautiful. I don't know if in an earthquake I would be standing here. I can tell you that much. Yeah. Look at this. Here's another thing in the physics that we're discussing, right? This is called a cantilever, right? So when you have something balancing one side versus another, almost like a seesaw kind of effect. Here we have a 90-degree angle, right? You'll see this in the figure at times, right? Maybe the model's got their arms straight out to the side, right? So here's the model's head, right? And they've got their shoulder over here and their arm is hanging out here, right? This is what I talk about, you know, it's like, hey, look, it's cantilevering off the body, right? Body's over here, here's their neck, right? And their arm is hanging out there. Where's all the stress? Man, the stress is right there in the joint, right in the shoulder joint, right? Because you got this 90-degree going down. Could I help that? I could. If I started putting the body underneath here and making this a more acute angle, believe it or not, that actually starts taking some stress off the shoulder. The more obtuse and open I make it, the more stressful it actually becomes. The smaller I can make it, the easier it is on the human body, right? So I think about this stuff when I'm drawing the figure. I'm thinking about the cantilevering, right? I picture stuff like this in my mind. Okay, almost done with my segment here. We're going to start bringing this over to the figure. This is like the architecture. in the human body, we are constantly searching for balance, and angles, are trying to work to create that balance. So you'll notice, like in both of these poses, these guys are both doing almost exactly the same thing, right? If the angle is like this instead of straight, right? Here's straight. The angle is this way. All this weight over here, notice I put it under the foot. All the weight to the left is wanting to fall that way. But he's got enough weight sitting here in his stomach and his legs, right, to try and counterbalance, right? So he's counterbalancing. It's the seesaw. I'm sure most of you, I know I did this all the time in school. Fortunately, I never fell. But all the time tried to balance on the back legs and just see how long you could sit there and you feel out that balance, right? And it's like how much of your weight, here the balance is here, right? So how much of your weight is in the front with the chair versus what's in the back, right? And you're constantly counterbalancing, right? So when it comes to the figure, we want to be aware of the angles, right? We want to be aware of angles and what they mean. How does that work relative to the platform of where the feet are? There's a little bit of perspective sometimes involved based on what the platform is like and where the feet are on the ground, right? We want to be aware of the center line, which leads to the center of gravity. Remember a few videos back, we talked about center of gravity in men is in the upper chest, and in women, it's mostly down more towards the stomach or belly button, right? So that matters as well. And how do we present that, right? So I'm going to hand it off at this point to Swenley. He's going to show you how at drawingforce.com we have a process. We have an exercise that we have all of the students at the website move through to better understand the engineering aspect, right? The architectural engineering aspect is behind trying to understand the figure before we even deal with rhythm and force and all the other stuff that we all love. Okay, I'm going to hand it off to Swenley. All yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's see, share the screen. So yeah, angles and figure drawing, as Mike mentioned before, it's super important, and I think it's not something that is often talked about, in many figure drawing education out there. Let's see, let's go to the reference. So yeah, like Mike said, we have an exercise at drawingforce.com that help students understanding angles, especially as they relate to a balance, because one of the primary functions we look for when drawing the figure is balance. Like Mike showed the buildings, like imagine having this super beautiful building, but it's poorly constructed, meaning that it's not well balanced. So sooner or later, everything will crash. Balance on itself. So balance is super important when drawing the figure. And what we use to practice that is something that we call the gravity guide. And I'm going to, so see I have a reference photo here, and I'm going to draw, I'm going to analyze the angles of the figure and how they help this figure stay balanced, just like the buildings that Mike showed us. So for the gravity guides, we start with the major weight of the body, the torso. It's this pretty big mass. And then we're going to look at how the limbs work, especially the legs and standing poses, how they work like pillars of a building to support the structure of the torso. And even in before drawing at the torso, talking about angles, yeah, he's bending, right? He's bending and kind of like thrusting his shoulder and elbow a little bit. But I start by looking at the angles of the torso. I look at what's the angle of the rib cage, and what's the angle of the abdomen and pelvis. The rib cage is about half the torso mass, and the other half is the abdomen, the midsection, and the pelvis. So even before I draw, I start looking at what's the angle. Okay, let me go and draw that. And we draw the torso. We treat it more like the flower sack that you would see in animation. Now, so here I'm not drawing the angles, but I'm thinking about them as I'm drawing this torso mass right here. You know, I'm looking at what's the angle here at the front. You know, I can see like the skin wrapping around. Now, and I look at the angle of his abdomen, you know, and how it relates to the pelvis, the bottom half of the torso. So let's start here. I think he's leaning forward even more. Also, we never pressure ourselves that we have to get everything right at the first try. That's why we iterate. You know, so you put something down, you compare it to the model, you evaluate and see what you need to correct in order for your drawing to work like the reference works. You know, so here we have the torso, bending torso as a start, and like Mike talked about with the darker color in the building, darker objects tend to appear heavier. So we recommend students to tone in the torso, make it darker to remind us of its weight. Now, it's this heavy structure that we're drawing. And now we want to analyze, okay, how is this structure being supported? You know, if we relate it to the architecture, like Mike showed, let's say that this is the side view of the building. You know, those buildings had like really nice angles. So let's say the building is something like this. You know, so the question is like, where are the pillars that help this building stand? You know, in the case of the figure, the pillars, especially in standing poses, are the legs. So I'm thinking about the joint of the thigh right here and use it as a starting point for the angle of the thigh. And when I'm looking at the angles, I'm always comparing them to a horizontal or to a vertical. You know, so when I'm drawing this angle right here, I'm thinking of a horizontal line. I'm visualizing a horizontal line and I'm looking at what's the angle, you know, how far does it deviate from a horizontal? Okay, so the knee is about here. You know, I can, since I'm working with these stakes for the legs, I can easily check placement also. And same for this leg. It would be easy to come in here and make this perfectly vertical, but it's not. You know, if we look at the reference, we can see that this leg, there is a slight angle to it, you know, and that dramatically would change the feeling of the pose if I change that. Now, so let's see. I have the slight angle right here. I'm looking for the length. It's about the ankle. I look for the angle of his foot. Okay, so now I have this one. I think this one is pretty much one straight line. Yeah, so I have this angle right here. I have this angle, then I check the angle of the other foot. Now it's pointing like slightly more away from us. Then this one. See to check if I got the right placement. Yeah, so this is it, you know, and you can connect the two legs with a straight line to create kind of a simple base for the figure to stand on. So look at this, guys, just with the torso and the pillars, which are the legs to support it, we have balance, you know. So in this case, the arms and the neck and head are secondary. You know, like this is the most important for the balance. You know, everything else is just extra. Let's see, let me get rid of this. So next we go for the arms. And when I'm drawing the arms, I always look for the angle of the shoulder, from shoulder to shoulder, because in terms of body mechanics, like if this is, let's say this is the upper torso, the rib cage, now keep in mind that the arms attach to the clavicles, and the clavicles have their own flexibility. Now you could tilt your clavicles at this angle without moving your rib cage. You could even just tilt one clavicle and the other remain perfectly horizontal. You know, so this is something I see students get confused with a lot. The angle of the top of the torso doesn't necessarily, or the angle of the shoulder, I should say, is not always the same as the angle of the upper torso. You know, the shoulder can move and tilt by itself to a certain degree. So I'm looking for the angle of the arms from shoulder to shoulder. Seems to be something like this. Now you can see the shoulder joint all the way out here. I'm looking at the angle for that arm. Get rid of this. This one is pretty much coming towards us. And then we have the hand kind of like at a different angle. There's this slight bend going on. Let's see, this arm has a slight arc to it, which means that I have to change direction at the elbow. Now it's a subtle change, but again, when it comes to angles, just a subtle change can completely change how you perceive the pose. Now same here, like there is this slight angle here at the wrist. You know, if I went in there and made the hand like this, the action feels slightly different, you know, so this matters. Okay, so we have the arms, let's see, and we can even look at the angle of the neck itself, you know, which direction is how is the neck angled. And for the head, I usually look at the angle of the face, you know, and then you have this head shape right here, and this is, in addition to the torso, this is also one of the major weights of the body that you want to consider. Now, so this is it, guys, the gravity guide. So pretty simple, but again, it really is a good training in seeing angles, because like Mike mentioned, we see a lot how, you know, even myself, sometimes I tend to like want to straighten up things. So this is good training to help you to really observe the angles and not assume. And by doing that, watering down the pose, you know, you want to maintain the drama as much as possible. You know, so if you start changing things here, like Mike was showing with the tables, like how much would he be able to change the angle of this lower leg before he loses balance, right? Imagine if he place this foot around here, or maybe he starts doing this.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about here, you would definitely lose balance, because, you know, look at the placement of his foot, you know, and all this weight around here without any support. Like this here isn't really the support like his foot is. So here he would fall, you know, so pay attention to the placement of the feet relative to the torso. That's super, super important.
Yeah, if his foot went back there, I mean, all of you think about how much stress would end up being on the front of that knee, right? Because now the weight is not over a leg, a lower leg that is 90 degrees with the ground, right? All of a sudden it's in an acute angle, right? and therefore there's more stress wanting to fall down on it, right? Remember, we have, like, it's almost the same example I talked about with the tethered ball pole, right? Now the pole has been bent. So if you added weight to the top of that bent pole, it's really not that strong down at the ankle, right? It wants to collapse, right? It wants to fall in on itself, and you have all the weight of the upper body coming in over it, right? Not good. I would not want to be the ankle.
Indeed, and especially considering that in men, the center of gravity is more towards the top of the torso, you know, so you would have all this weight without any support. Like if you would be like bottom heavy, like let's say this part would be the heaviest part, maybe you could pull this off, you know, if this was super light, you could easily pull that off, but it's not, you know, most of the weight is concentrated here. You know, so he could do this with his leg and it would still work. You know, all of a sudden you have like a wider base to support the weight, so this would still work. And let's see, is there's anything I want to add? No, I think that's it. So again, we start with the torso. Consider its weight, you know, tone it in, make it darker to help you remember its weight, and then prioritize the limbs that help support the weight of the torso. In standing poses, it will be one or both of the legs. You know, like if this guy was hanging from a rope, I would prioritize the arms, you know, because his leg would probably like be swinging around in midair and his arms would be supporting most of the weight. So I would prioritize that to make sure that, again, he's balanced relative to gravity. So that's my part. I'm going to hand it over to Mrityunjay.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So for those of you out there drawing figures, you know, before you jump in immediately into the pose, you know, take some time kind of drawing your, you know, your force stick figure in a way, right? This gravity guide to allow you to see the angles and, you know, absorb the concepts around gravity pulling down. Lots of times we'll actually have the students draw arrows for gravity, like you've seen me doing earlier today, just for you to keep thinking about pulling down, pulling down. You really want to try to bring this concept of gravity to your piece of paper, right? Maybe something I haven't focused on enough today is, you know, bringing the idea of gravity over to your drawing, that there's gravity on the page, right? We all take gravity for granted, right? It's not, I'm not floating out of my chair. None of us are, right? I'm sitting down here and I know it's going to happen. My Cintiq pen is sitting here on the desk. These things aren't floating all over the place. And you want to bring that sensitivity, right? That awareness, that idea to when you are drawing the model. Don't forget, right? Remember that there is gravity, the force of gravity pulling down on everyone's bodies. That's how we know our weight, right? For instance, sometimes when I'm in drawing classes, I'll actually ask the model, like, how much do you weigh, right? Are they 130 pounds? Are they 180? Are they 215 pounds? Right? What's their weight? How much weight are their feet carrying around from day in and day out, right? So keep all that stuff in mind when you're drawing the figure. Maybe a way of doing that would be every time you draw the model, try to take a guess what you think the weight is, even if it's a photo, you know, just for you to put that number there on the piece of paper. I think this person's about 170 pounds. You're drawing 170 pounds of human being on that page, not just a bunch of lines, right? In fact, I've never had that idea. I just bring this up now. I think it's a great idea. Try to figure out, guess the weight, right? Guess model weight, get it on the page, okay? All right, you're up, Mrityunjay. It's all yours.
All right. So a little bit construction going on just right beside my house. So sorry for that.
No worries.
Hope it's not too loud. Share the content screen. There we go. I'm gonna flip it. All right. So I have like three things to compare this thing, and again, like my job is to like bring the concepts together and showing you that how the angular, like, which is like very straight, and the curves, which like the forces that we're gonna be tell them forces, we call them forces, like how to bring them together and then produce that effect of big dynamic, like being angular at the same time, but still able to pull off those concepts with forces itself. Okay. So, well, I have three pictures for you, which you can tell in the chat, by the way, which have, if you think that there's any relationship or what's the relationship between all those. So the first picture is this, right? Hoe, like fishing hoe. The second is J, so I'm gonna shorten this up here, all right? The third picture is punching. You can see the punch right through the steel wall. And superhero, in this case Wonder Woman, punching through the door, right? So what do you think the relationship between these four images are? Obviously the fish hook and the J is obviously they are the same shape, but what are they, right? What is the similarity between all of those things? So there's this concept um, there's this concept of applied force, okay, that we practice on drawingforce.com. So what is this, right? So see, you had a line, okay, so say you had a line, like a straight line, and then you add like force upon it, okay, so you're pushing it with a certain amount of force. So what's going to happen, what's the reaction of this line is going to be? Obviously it's going to become a curve, okay, like that. And the more force that you push in there, the heavier the curve is, or let's say the more aggressive the curve is. If the force is subtle, okay, the force is more like this, you can see, right? It's a very light force. So the line is going to become like this, right? If there's more force and this and this and this and so on, right? So more aggression comes into that force, depending upon the amount of force that you're applying on it. So it might become something like this, okay, if the force is like super aggressive. And again, you can use like metaphors, like we use comet, okay, like the burning hot comet, like burning through the atmosphere, okay, coming down with a lot of force there. So the reason to show this picture here, J, first of all, let's talk about these J's, okay? It's because, people do it like this, when they're practicing this concept of force pushing on a line, they're doing more like this. They're just, practicing like a general C curve, okay? This you can see is like, it's reminding of a letter C, right? Like this. But the challenge with this is there's nothing wrong in it, okay, it's good. But the challenge with that is you're not allowing yourself to like warm up, okay, you're not allowing yourself to like warm up and then like hitting the curve, okay, which fortunately this J letter does, okay. So what you have to do is like, you're kind of building up, okay, you're kind of building up this whole path, and then you're hitting the curve right there. So as you can see, this force is a little bit different, and then this general C curve, okay, and this is actually allowing you to build up. It's like warm up, okay, from here all the way down to here, and then hitting the curve right there, okay. So, and the great metaphor to use here is like, it's like a road, okay. So you can imagine that this is like a road, okay, this is like a road, and there's like this mountain range all down here, and this is like a point of let's say the drifting of a car, and you're coming from here, okay, this is, let's say this is your car, and you're building up speed, like you're like speeding up like super fast, and then you're just like, yeah, like zoom zoom zoom, like drifting away. Okay. So by the way, you don't do it like multiple times, but you're just like kind of like drifting away from here. Like
What kind of car do you drive, man?
yeah. It's funny enough, I don't know how to drive, but
That makes sense.
I've
Now I get
seen
it.
it in movies and videos, so I can relate it. So yeah, that's a cool metaphor, right? And it's funny enough that when you're drawing, so you can really make the sounds in your own mind, or just like physical, and you can have fun, right? While drawing. So anyways, that's the fun part of metaphors. And so this is it, so you're building at speed up and then you're drifting away, that which gives you like a little bit more fun or more control, let's say. And the same with drawing. So you're drawing that J shape there. Okay, and yeah, it allows you to build that speed. It's like, okay, I'm building it up, I'm building it up, and then like hitting this curve. Okay, all the concepts of the force lines still remain same. It's like coming from the apex, right? The apex we say, and then going to. So yeah, it goes to another place right there, and you can use this curve for another force. Okay, which is like this. So what you're doing is like you're applying the same force to another force. Okay, which we call applied force in terms of drawing. Yeah, in like force analogy. So now you understand. This is why we use like fish hook analogy or the J letter analogy. Now let's talk about these two images. The punching of the out through the steel wall, and the punching of superhero through a door, a wall, whatever. So the reason to use these images, well, if you punch the steel and you imagine yourself, okay, as a superhero, and you're having superpowers, and you punch like a hole, not a hole, but you have made a mark. You just like made a bump on a steel wall. So this again represents this analogy here, which is, well, there's like this straight line, and you punched it with the force. We call it applied force, and then there's like a resultant bump, which is permanent because of the steel wall. And so yeah, it's the wall may look more like this after you punch it like multiple times. It's gonna be like this, right? All the way like punched. So yeah, I really like the analogy that you like pushing, and this is more like this. Okay, so it's like a straight thing, and you're punching, 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 right? And so let's get out of this all like images and everything, and let's see how it applies to the figure drawing, right? So I have this image here again, the same reference that Swenley used, and the reason to use the same reference is because, yeah, because you can see like the changes that's happening around. So there are like certain parts that that concept of J is applied, okay, and especially in the shoulders. Okay, especially in the shoulders, you're like, oh, let's push there, right? So it's more like this. I'm not drawing the figure. I'm just like explaining it. So you see here, from here to here, you're kind of like building up, but this is where the magic happens. It's like, oh, this is all the push, right? This is all the force concentrated upon that, and then like flowing wherever it wants to go further. So yeah, you're kind of building, 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 but you're like hitting there, and then you're like drifting away. It's like, and you're returning back. So more like this. So shoulders is one of the parts that really represents the J concept. Feet is one of those parts that you're gonna be looking at in just a second. So yeah, let's get this drawing done. So, hmm, all right. So before drawing again, just so you have to combine those two things, like the angles and the force itself. So you have to be aware of this bend. Okay, a lot of time, this has been the challenge with the students is like they underestimate the bend or the angles, right? So again, like as Mike said, it's the tendency of people to draw straights, right? More of the straight, so they cannot accept the fact that, oh, look at the bend, like it's so bended there, right? The torso. So underneath all the force, the angles are what are the best thing, right? That you wanna remember yourself. I always write grab G. This is one of the concepts that we again use at drawingforce.com to keep reminding yourself of gravity. Okay, it's like this constant pulling down. It's like, oh, this constant rain kind of metaphor that Mike used. And it's like, okay, keep reminding yourself that there's like a constant pulling down on this model as well, of this force. which is the force of gravity. So I'm building myself, um, yeah, and then hitting that J into the fish hook or J, whatever you want to call it. You see hitting that squash in there, coming off here, right? So underneath all of these four, this is gonna be like normal drawing. I won't focus much on line or anything like that today, but uh, yep. So here, the important concept is here, the J, which is like hitting here, fish hook or J, whatever you can call it. And the second thing, look here into the leg right there. So see how aggressive that force is pushing it down the hill. It's kind of like sliding backwards. Uh, See how aggressive that thing is, and it really reminds you of J letter or the fish hook. So see here. So feet is one of those places where you can apply the J concept very well, and one of the places is shoulder again, right?
Yeah, I
So
want to
this is
call
one.
out that foot that you just
Yep.
drew there. That's the acute angle, right? There's our angle that's really small and tight.
Right.
So
Right.
the point we want to make here with you guys is we were talking about these angles. The more acute the angle is, the tighter the J is, which means there's more energy pounding through that. It's the difference of, let's say, a car hitting a steel wall. That would be a wide curve. A fist hitting a steel wall is much smaller. It's narrower, right? The intensity is in a smaller space. Or a bullet, right, hitting a steel wall, and its smallness, right, it makes the curve tinier and tinier, basically from obtuse or 90 degrees actually to acute. And the more acute it gets, the more intense it gets, right? And you're getting more applied force into that acute angle.
Right. Right. That's a pretty good insight.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, uh, yeah, I'm gonna show you some drawings, drawings of mine. So here it is, just use those J concept, J fish hook. You can use anything that resembles that or that reminds you of that. It's nothing forceful that you're not forcing it in any way. But yeah, because it is force, right? Because this is again like hitting force. Uh, just try to feel it out. It's like, okay, how it feels like to be a superhero and then punching through a steel wall, right? And you could relate yourself to it. Okay, it's not very different. So here's some drawings. I'm gonna break it down for you. So watch the angles, right? Watch the angles that that's bringing up. Okay, look at the angle of the hand right there, but very opposite of that, very opposite angle to that, and look at the angle of the legs. Okay, this is what brings interest. Okay, so contrast creates interest, and contrast in anything creates interest, in line, in shapes. Well, here in this case, angles. Okay, look at the angle of the body, but look at the angle of the arm, the upper arm. Look at the angle of the lower arm there. So yeah, in anything you can just create like angles. So see here, like a triangulation is created right there, creating balance and creating interest in the angles here as well. And yeah, just the three down drawings, and down here you can see like a lot of angle changes that's happening, which is creating interest, a lot of interest. Okay, you take any of these pictures, you change the angles to more of a straights or more of horizontals. Yeah, like vertical and horizontal, you see the drama just like killed off. Okay, so well, this is for my part. I'm gonna hand it over to Mike so we can conclude the session. Okay, hope you like it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrityunjay.
Yep. Stop share. Okay.
Okay, guys, so in closing, what I want to make sure you all understand before we leave here today is what we did today was talk about the idea of angles and how important they are, right? So we talked about angles. I'm going to try to spell, right? So step number one. Step number two, Swenley talked to you about, so I did sort of the abstract on this. Swenley brought it over to the gravity guide, right? So we can see how angles actually come over to the figure at their simplicity. And then you had Mrityunjay actually show you force and angles, right? So I want to close out here. And what I really want you to understand here today between right angles, obtuse, and acute is this, this 90, it's going to give you stability. There was some conversation we were having in the chat about the pose that Swenley and Mrityunjay were drawing. And if the model's leg is like this, yeah, that is the most stable any model's leg can be, right? I was kind of joking and saying, the easiest thing the model could do would, if this was their knee and this is their foot, would be to stand up, right? Because now everything is vertical and they wouldn't have that stress in the leg, right? Because even if they have this 90 degree here and their other leg is way back there and they still have all this weight over their body, this is still a lot of stress. What I could do to help that model is shove a triangle in there, like I said with the table. That would help a lot, right? Because the weight on this top can relax and come down because the weight on this would go into the triangle and push against the sturdiness of this pushing down into the floor, which is how a table leg works, right? But what I want you to be aware of is, so we've got our 90 degree, which is super stable. We have our acute, right, which is like this. And then we have our obtuse, which is like this. So here we have acute, here we have obtuse, and that these correlate to force and the work that Mrityunjay was talking about with the letter J, right? So what I was trying to say earlier is the more acute this gets, right, the more intense this gets, right? This is an applied force, right? Applied force sits in this shape right here, right? And the more acute it gets, right? If we had an angle like this, right? Think about how much energy is like trying to push its way through this. This is what I meant by the bullet, the fist, and the, I forget what I said, car or truck, right? That is like a crazy amount of peaked force. It's like getting faster and faster and faster, right? It's almost like Superman running, right? If Superman were running here, you'd have like this kind of speed around, let's say a car or a person. I like the idea of Superman, he's running this way. Right, you have this going on, and then he gets faster and maybe he makes himself more pointed. And he's got like his head here, right? All of a sudden it's like this, it's more acute. And all of a sudden he starts flying and his fist is there. Here's his head, here's his fist, right? And this gets like really acute, right? So more power, medium power, less power, you see? And that's based off of these angles, right? So this is really wide, O for obtuse. Here we're at about 90, right? Just around 90. So we have a right angle. And last but not least, we have acute, super intense. So that's what we want you to be aware of, right? Be aware of the angles, how they relate to one another, what kind of angle are they creating different parts of the body. And the more acute they get, the more intense force is trying to push its way out, right? And gravity is like squeezing down on this, right? It doesn't have that much effect here, more effect, most effect, right? It's like squeezing down. One way of thinking of it is squeezing down, but with squeezing down is also pushing out and pushing forward like a bullet, okay? Hope that all makes sense. We will see you guys next week with hopefully another awesome topic for you. Thank you for coming today and spending your Friday with us, this hour on your Friday. And we will see all of you next week. And I want to, of course, thank you, Swenley and Mrityunjay, for, as always, doing amazing demonstrations. Yeah, I'll see you all next Friday. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
I'll see you.